Hey guys, Rich from Rich Made Gaming. Hope everyone is doing fantastically well. Happy Friday. We've made it through almost another week and got to the weekend. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at potential new Marvel Crisis Protocol characters who have been hiding in plain sight all along in the form of the artwork on the tactics cards. So let's jump straight over and take a look. First up then, appearing on 2 tactics cards, which are Lethal Protector and Mission Objective, is Nick Fury. Now this is an interesting one, as we've just had a second leader of the Avengers, but really Nick Fury has never led the Avengers. He is the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. So could we see a brand new affiliation, which would be the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which could include Nick Fury, could include Maria Hill, but then also other people such as Hawkeye and Black Widow as well. We're heading over to Asgard now with our next 3 characters, and starting off with the tactics cards Rainbow Bridge, we can see just there on top of the bridge is Heimdall. Now I think he would be a fantastic addition to the Asgardians, who I think need some additional characters in there to bulk out their roster a little bit. He could have some great potential teleporting other characters around. I think it could be really, really good. Second then, and this one comes as no surprise, as the card is called Odin's Blessing, and it is Odin himself, the Allfather. Now, I talked about Odin in a different video around my wish lists for 7 threat characters, which you can find here. But I think Odin is the perfect choice as a second leader for the Asgardian affiliation. I would love to see him in the game, and I would love to see him as a 6 or even 7 threat character. So rounding out our Asgardians then is on the card Grievous Wounds, and it shows us Scourge alongside Enchantress. So Scourge is most popular from, I think, the film Thor Ragnarok, where he had that awesome scene where he was dual wielding the machine guns towards the end. And I think, again, we need some bulk out in the Asgardian roster, so any additional Asgardians are more than welcome. Staying then on the theme of Asgard, but not quite an Asgardian herself, we can see in the Vapors of Valtor card, which shows us Doctor Strange wielding his axe, that there is in fact the Jane Foster version of Thor. So who knows, we may be getting an alternative version of Thor, especially with the brand new movie, also including Jane Foster, seeing more and more tie-ins with the release dates of Marvel movies and then release of characters within the Marvel Crisis Protocol game. I think this one is more than a possibility. Next up then is the first of 2 Inhumans on our list, and he appears in both the Inhuman Royal Family card and the Attilan Rising card, and that is Karnak. Now Karnak is an Inhuman, he is an advisor to Black Bolt, and his powers are really exploiting the weaknesses of his enemy. He's a martial artist expert, so think something along the lines of Taskmaster mixed with a little bit of Iron Fist. So the second of our Inhumans then is another character that was teased a long time ago on the tactics card Medpack, and that is the Inhuman Quake. Now once again, not a character that is particularly well known. The Inhumans is not a particularly popular comic book, but it is the character who appears in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I think that's probably where a lot of people will know her from. Next then, a character who has appeared on 2 cards, and that is Web Barrier and also Hired Muscle, so again has been in the game for quite some time, and that is the spider villain Rhino. Another character that I'm really looking forward to. I'm hoping that he makes an appearance at some point, either in the Spider Foes or in what I hope is the newly formed Sinister Six. Carrying on with the spider theme then, and it's the tactics cards A-Force Assemble, so released not too long ago, that gave us the first look at Spider-Woman. There is also another character on this card in the top left hand corner that I could not identify. It looks like one of the Marvels to me, but I'm not entirely sure. So if anyone does know, leave me a comment down in the comment section below. Okay then, on to the X-Men, and there are lots and lots of teasers here for us across the number of cards that we've had within the X-Men. So let's start off then with the first class, and we can see that there is Warren Worthington II, aka the Angel, obviously one of the founding members of the original X-Men, and we also have Bobby Drake, also known as Iceman, so yeah, you can see him in the back there as well. Deception shows one of my favourite characters from the 90s cartoon, and that is Gambit. And whilst at first glance this card may also look like it is teasing Rogue, we can actually see that it is Mystique. Now I'm still holding out hope that we get Rogue because I'm dying to put together that original 90s X-Men cartoon affiliation, but we'll have to wait and see. So on to me, my X-Men next then, and a couple of characters to break down in this card. First of all is Betsy Braddock, who first appeared actually alongside Captain Britain in the 70s in the comic books, but then became Psylocke in the X-Men comics, and then later actually became Captain Britain herself. So really interesting story arc for this one, but as we can clearly see, this is the Psylocke from the X-Men. Now, a character that I nearly missed first time round and had to come back and re-record this part is in the top right hand corner of this card here, and we can clearly see it is Professor Charles Xavier. So a character I really want to come into the game, potentially a third leader for the X-Men. I'm not sure if we're going to see affiliations with 3 leaders quite yet, especially when there's so many out there who only have 1 at the moment, but a character I'd love to see in the game, some fantastic telekinesis abilities, and yeah, that is to me my X-Men. Staying on the X theme of things then, we have Dirty Work up next, and this shows us the recently released Domino alongside Wolverine, but we can clearly see X-23 in the mix of things as well. Now this looks like they're taking out a Sentinel, which is another shout for a character that has turned up in multiple cards as well. So we've got the Cat and Mouse card with Cable. We've also got the re-release of 1-2 Punch with Sabretooth and Wolverine, who are also coming up against the Sentinels. Not sure if we're going to see Sentinels in the game quite yet, maybe an Ultimate Encounter, but I think an X-23 is more than on the cards and will be a fantastic addition to the X-Force. Next then is the Tactics card Heave Ho, which shows us the Blob. Now Blob is most known for being within the Brotherhood of Mutants, but he's also been member of the Defenders affiliation before as well, so it'll be interesting to see if and when he's released, if he does fall into more than one. You could also see him in the Criminal Syndicate as well. Psychic shielding device next then, and this shows us 3 characters, 2 of which have already been released. Natasha Romanov, we've got Taskmaster, but then we also have Elektra, the on-off love interest of Daredevil. So we could see her very easily coming into the Defenders. We could definitely see her coming into the Criminal Syndicate as well. And where would any list of Marvel characters be in modern day if we didn't include in there Mephisto, who can clearly be seen in the Deal with the Devil card. He would be a great addition to Marvel Crisis Protocol. I'm not sure how or where he would fit, but we'd have to see. Next then, another character that's been in there a little while on the card Execute is Red Hulk, aka Thunderbolt Ross, and I think this is a real possibility within the game because he would fit into a number of existing affiliations. You could put him in the Criminal Syndicate, he could go in the Cabal, and he could also lead a Thunderbolts affiliation. And I think that's a real big possibility, especially with the Thunderbolts TV series we know is going to be happening in the not too distant future. So I think that one could be a big potential for us. So the next one is a little bit of a cheat, as it is a character we've already had in the game, but this card does quite clearly show a variation of the character that we've seen in one of my favourite comic book runs, and that is Worldbreaker Hulk. So anyone familiar with Planet Hulk, World War Hulk, basically the Illuminati ship Hulk off, we've kind of seen it in the films in Thor Ragnarok, whereas Hulk takes himself this time, but lands on the planet Sakaar. This is the Hulk that then comes back to Earth with his army, and he takes on the Illuminati, the Avengers, every single person on Earth, and yeah, basically he is the Worldbreaker Hulk. So then guys, rounding out our list is a brand new Tactics card that not everyone has got yet, including myself, but it is Aunt May's Wheat Cakes, and 3 characters to break down here. Now we can see there is obviously Peter Parker version of Spider-Man, whether it's the Amazing Spider-Man or the Spider-Man from the core box, we're not quite sure. He comes with the Amazing Spider-Man, so let's assume it's that. And sat across from him at the table is what I thought to be at first the Miles Morales version of Spider-Man. However, upon closer inspection, you can see particularly around the face, the redness, it is actually the 2099 version of Spider-Man as well. Also sitting around the table is everyone's favourite Spider-Ham. Now that would be amazing if he came into the game. And then finishing it off is actually Aunt May herself. So could we be seeing a glimpse of the first ever one threat character? And if so, where would she fit? I mean, I'm definitely thinking that she's going into the Web Warriors. Not sure where else she would end up, or really if she would ever end up in the game. But yeah, there we are, guys. That is the list of characters who have been teased but have not yet been released in Marvel Crisis Protocol. But let me know down in the comment section below if I've missed any. I'm sure I have. There are many tactics cards out there. I think I've got most of them, but there's always one or two that will slip through. And let me know down in the comment section as well which character from that list, or indeed any other characters that you're most looking forward to in the game. As always, guys, remember to make sure you are subscribed and leave a comment on this or any other video for the month of June to be in with a chance to win a brand new Marvel Crisis Protocol character pack for the month of June. And as always, guys, it leaves me with just enough time to say stay well, keep safe, and until next time, bye for now.